style. You ain't know this game. Been in this thing for a while. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Been in this thing for a while. Been in this thing for a while. Been in this thing for a while. You don't even know my pain. You can't even match my style. You don't even know this game. Been in this thing for a while. Yeah, 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 yeah. Been in this thing for a while. Been in this thing for a while. Yeah.
Last week, we recorded that episode, the being present episode, and Spike, if I were to be honest with you, I turn this down a little bit. I don't always go back to the episodes, as of probably a few, and the reason I don't is because sometimes I'm not ready to process.
Don't you got to listen to it when you edit it?
I do in there, but I don't listen all the way through. I only listen for what I know I probably need to chop that out, or which is very rare. It's probably like in the last, I don't know, 40 episodes, I may have chopped out 2 times. So it's never really like I got to chop something out. It's, but I kind of skim through. I kind of know the pieces and parts because it's like fresh right after. So I don't listen to it as much because I'm processing it in real time, and the double back is just like sometimes it's a lot, which I respect our listeners because they come here every week and they take this information in, they take this conversation in, and it's really something. So last week, this week I listened to last week's episode, and again, shouts out to Vince.
Full this time, right?
Yeah. D Hicks, Vince, over there at Wild Black Podcast. I listened, and man, it's funny when you remember things, and then when you go back, there's things that you don't remember. And that when I went back and listened, there was pieces, it was like little gems and corners of like just little things you'd like, dang, I forgot about that. And I'm glad that I went back to listen to that because it was one of the best episodes. I mean, I don't know how many times we're gonna keep saying that. I feel like we just keep on like adding to it. But I wanted to ask before we start the show. Yeah, but like before we start the show, like we normally do like kind of a little bit of a real time review, letting the guest off. But since we finished out, I wanted to say, what did you think about that experience last week?
Vince did his thing, man. Rich said it to us in the group chat text, man. Nigga coming behind, y'all may not have to have guests for a while. Like coming behind him is like closing behind Bernie Mac.
Boy,
that's a legend out there amongst comedians. Nobody ever wanted to go on behind Bernie Mac because of how good he was. But I thoroughly enjoyed that experience, man. That's what this show is all about. That's what we started it for. Finally, someone a little bit older than me, Vince, at 47. I'm getting to listen and learn. I mean, just like I listen and learn from you, from a younger generation, getting to hear somebody who's been through or going through or to where we're aspiring to be in our podcast and media journey. It was dope. And then even beyond that, as a Black man and his focus and what he wants to accomplish and how he speaks to his family, the passion that he speaks with, that was a really good experience. I agree with you when you said one of the best episodes. It was natural. It didn't come off as interviewee, which you hate. Yeah. It was really dope in a sense of like just what this podcast is about, man. 3 Black men sitting down having a conversation, and that other people can find benefit in. I got messages from people that I didn't even know listen to podcasts.
That listen to podcasts that you didn't know?
That I didn't even know listen to them, like friends from back in the day.
Really?
I wouldn't have even suspected you to be listening to podcasts, and just message from them, man, like, man, this shit right here was this nigga. I needed this.
How they even come across this, bro? Like
if somebody, I mean, we have mutual friends, so
okay.
Somebody will send it to them or be talking in passing, or hey man, you heard what Lou doing lately or something like that. What I think happened was it hit somebody, because I know people that, like I said, they're cool with each other, but I may not necessarily have spoken to them in years. And it'll register with somebody, and then they'll be like, hey man, now you got to hear this. Like, it's somebody we know and somebody that had similar experiences to us on here talking about stuff that we talk about that usually don't get talked about. And that's how it just trickles down. And then you get an IG message or a Facebook message like, man, this shit right here was fire. And I'm like, damn, I ain't even know, nigga, you listen to podcasts and shit like that. So that was dope, man. That was a really fire experience.
Yeah, it was.
We got to get Vince back in here, man. When you come down to Atlanta, we'll go play golf or something. He had a really good, y'all go check out his podcast, Wild Black. He recently had Cornell West on there.
I know.
So 6 degrees of separation. With that, Cornell West is running for president. We just sit down with Vince, who had that man on his podcast.
Yeah,
so.
that's why I have such a high level respect for Vince.
What's that?
Because he mean what he say when he say, when I want to be successful, but not by myself, bro. I won't be up here by myself. It's about my people for real. He joined our podcast off the merit of black men, black community, and the merit of the relationship that y'all have for whatever the depth of that is. And knowing that he does the numbers that he does, and knowing that we're up and coming podcast that's growing, and to say, hey, no, I'm honored to be here, and I want to be a part of that. I want to help. I want to join in this, fuse together in this content space. We didn't have to do that. I respect that so much. And then now you say he has, I seen it in the stream, Cornell West is like, who's running for president. It's like, bro, it's crazy. Like, that's how, I don't know. Yeah, it's just, I'm still.
I sit and had a conversation with this man. Exactly. 100%.
Still mind-boggling.
That's fire. Absolutely. Congratulations to you, black man. Continue to push. Continue to push. All right, man. For this week, are we still doing? We want to do some more lead and stuff.
Yeah. Well, you can go on. Bring in.
Nothing really happened this week, man. Yeah, nothing really happened in the world this week. But for the drop, as far as you guys know where you at, you know what we do. This is another week in the books, as we just talked about, man. What a little bit what this podcast is about. Black men having conversations, elevating those conversations, and spread them to the world so they can hear and be more familiar with us. This is chapter 58, Mo.
Yeah.
Chapter 58 is what they don't see.
Yes, sir.
Dealing with embarrassment. We talked about this a little bit with crying at the lunch table.
Kind of, yeah. And to an extent, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I thought about that at some point.
I mean, some things need to be revisited and going back over.
Yeah,
as we mature in this space.
Yeah, I can't. It's been so long. I can't quite remember the depths of it, but I think a lot has transpired since then in a year's time. But before we get into that, there's a couple of things.
Remember the depths of what?
Of that conversation, the crying at the lunch table. Like I remember that. Like I mean, talk about those moments, but I don't know how much we belabored it as adults. You know what I mean? I think that I was thinking about. You know, things that hadn't been spoken. Like, yeah, that's childhood more so, but like being grown. And I'll get into it like, because it's just like, bro, when the last time you heard a grown man say I was embarrassed?
I was just about to say, man, bro. I was still thinking childhood stuff I can't think of.
See? Because even if we do, we bury it. Anyway, don't even see. Look, I'm about to drop the bar like battle rap too quick. Like, hold on. But before we get there. Before we get there. You see, I got me back in my rapper bag again. You know what I'm saying? Just like a year ago.
It's triggered that quick, right?
Just boy, that quick.
Hot Dylon fire.
All that.
That's rap.
The cheesecake and walking, all that. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
But so Spike Lee recently did an Odd Friday.
Yes.
FIFO.
Talk about him. That's a grown embarrassed moment.
Oh man, hold on.
Was a little too indulged.
Hold on, because I need to walk through on this joint. I need the Joe Budden style storytelling. When you give us walk us through, I need.
The crazy thing is, it ain't even gonna be one already. But go.
Nah, it's what Rich, me and Rich, what we witnessed with our own two eyes. It's just a story.
I want to hear it. All right,
so we get the we check it in. So I think it's gonna be on YouTube. So I stand corrected last week. I told y'all YouTube. My bad if y'all didn't check it out. I was on Twitch, even though I don't have Twitch. But so I'm on FIFO's Instagram, and he's live, and I'm like waiting for them to drop the drop. I see that little bottle in the middle. I say, oh man, okay. I see Spike over there. He's kind of kicking and chilling. I'm like, okay. I see people in the comments. FIFO looked like he was already vibing out. I was like, all right. They get this thing started. I mean, what was it? Song 2. Spike Lee becomes Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson when he was a heel, this man was like, it doesn't matter what your name is. Like, dude, this guy was. What was you drinking, bro? That's the first question.
That was just some tequila, man. But I was mostly putting on. It was content over everything. But yeah, it was just tequila. Just a little tequila.
What was your mindset going into outside of the music part of it? The Spike Lee off air, like I'm having fun. I'm just me without the
having fun, right? That's the only reason that I was drinking, because I don't as much as I used to. But I wanted to be able to relax. I wanted to be able to have fun. That's hard for me.
Yeah,
there's a reason. So that's part of the reason probably why I had too much to drink, because I really wanted to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that I was looking forward to in the sense of Southern music. I call that my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure I was loose enough not to go in there and overthink stuff and just be able to have fun, play to the crowd. And I really, really wanted to win. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I wanted to win.
I know you did. I know you did.
They biased over there. They was crowd, man. They biased as fuck.
Man, I didn't even get. I think I got to like round 8. I wanted to find out what. Like, do you got your list around still?
Nah, FIFO got it. I can get
Dang, that's all right, bro.
Remember, I ain't even gonna hold you.
I know.
I really don't even remember.
It was about round 8, bro. Y'all should. I said, my man.
Was he blowing me out in round 8?
Nah, he wasn't. He really. It really was like close the whole time, bro. Like, there was a couple of times where, like, because you took the lead for a moment and then he came back at the 3 spot, and I was like, okay. But I mean, it was close the whole time. I still don't know. I don't know what's your, like, Lil Wayne is your guy, and I don't know why you did him like that. I just like, bro, that's why I say, oh, he drunk. I said, this brother had, this is literally Play the Hits version of the South right now, and this guy plays. What was that?
Was full troll mode. I was trolling them, really.
But they worked though, boy.
That was my mindset.
Let me tell you this before we move on, and like, I want to commend you on being able to like bring a real performative aspect. I feel like you were extending yourself. I'm not saying that's not a part of your character or personality. It just ain't been what I've seen. Though.
So I get what you're saying. It's really not, bro.
Okay.
It's really, really not. And that's that was my goal going into it too, which is probably why I had a little too much, but that's what I wanted to do. I had a conversation on, what was the next night? But yeah, I was having a conversation with a marketing strategist just about some of the things that for the brand that need to be done, as far as and being more performative can't be something that you shy away from. Like, if you want to be noticed for doing this, you can't just say, oh, well, I want to do it my way. Some things you got to open up to and be like, okay, I'm going to do this because this is what needs to be done to be successful. I can't just be stuck in my way and be like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to go here. I don't want to be around these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's really what it is.
It's important.
To get better at that.
And it's important. It's very important for, to get outside of the box sometime. And what I've learned, bro, because I used to be like being a rapper at one point, like, I used to be just uncompromising with like anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you won't compromise, how's this? You know what I'm saying? Straight Philly Otardo style.
Right.
But I realized even now, just in this social media and this podcast space, I'm learning the game as far as how can you play the game. Like J. Cole had to learn how to put out a workout hit and still be lyrical while coming up with a hit, because he knew his music wouldn't be put on the radio otherwise. So what you did, I looked at as you were having fun, but it was a good strategy to go in regards to, like, I'm building a profile. I'm building something here, and I can get behind the mic, but I also got showmanship. You're a salesman. I can sell it. We talk about it. So I appreciate you doing. I'm glad you had fun. I hope was you hungover?
I think I was about 2 days now, I believe. Oh, you can't do that, boy. Ooh. Yeah, but I did. I had some meetings and stuff the next day, so I had to bounce up.
Oh yeah, you had to thug it out.
It was a long time. Yeah, it took a minute to get, like, you know how sometimes you'll be the next day and you'll be maneuvering, but you like, God damn, man. Yeah. I feel like I got hit by a truck,
bro.
Yeah, one of those, like, shit. So I don't do that too much, and I don't want to be known for that either. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that ain't part of my persona, but every now and then, just to have fun like that. But when you get old, boy, you understand, like, I can't do that. Boy, I commend people that can go out and do that shit every night, nigga. That shit is fucking crazy.
It really is. I mean, Yeah, it was, but yeah, that was dope. I'm glad it was just again, it was just
I was
good to see.
scared the next day because I couldn't really remember that I may have went too far. So that's my biggest. When you talk
Oh
about
yeah, that
embarrassment,
feeling.
it's what I may have been embarrassed by because I wasn't really
What was
sure.
you thinking that was a possibility and
I
realistic?
don't know. I
Oh
had no
wow.
clue, to be honest with you. I had no clue. They called the next day and was commending me about the performance and stuff. So I really didn't have a solid idea. When I talked to them, they said like, nah, man, it was good. Went nothing too far. We appreciated it. So it worked out.
Okay,
Really worked
cool,
out.
man.
Worked out.
And I mean, again, and we're gonna move on, but like, and we talked about support a few episodes ago, but like, it was a pleasure to watch, and and you even was reacting to some of our texts in real time, so that was cool. It was just cool to see that, and I mean, like I said, I was looking at the messages in there, and they was here for it. Like they really
Yeah.
was here for it. It's like, man, Spike didn't turn heel tonight. I'm here for it. Like all of them, they got what you were doing. So I'm telling you, I seen the love and people. They even had fun, like joking on you. Like they was with you and they was joking on you, but they really enjoy you. You've really carved a lane and a mark over there. So I think like from you doing a professional and then like kind of loosening up the tie like you did on our Fridays, that was dope, man.
That's what we do, man.
That was dope.
Big and better things to come for all of us. Absolutely, brother. I appreciate you checking it out and listening. I'm always surprised, when people show support.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just a me thing. I'm always surprised. Like, oh, you seen that? So yeah,
Why?
I really
What?
appreciate. It probably has something to do with being an only child and the shit that we've discussed about no dad being there and people really not
Showing up.
usually coming and fucking. Yeah, that probably got something to stem with that. So I probably have it in my mindset as an older adult. I ain't really talk through this in no therapy or nothing, but I do probably got it in my mindset as an older adult. All you just got to do with it, like nobody's gonna come or be paying attention. Just don't worry about that. So then when somebody does comment on it, it's like, oh shit,
Is it
makes you feel good though. Definitely
is it
appreciate.
is it easier to do that to we talked about before, like controlling your expectations? Is it easier to kind of not put any expectation in regards to like somebody gonna show up that way? I don't have to feel a type of way if you don't.
Hell no, not for me. And that's probably part of it too. I put a lot of pressure on myself. It's been like that. I don't even know where it comes from. I've been like that since I was a child. I'm not sure if I told a story here before, but just to speak to what you said, I remember my second year playing football. I was 8 years old. And I can't remember if I told this story. If I have, just tell me.
Okay.
But it was my second year playing football. I was 8 years old. I was a little fat kid. So I was playing on the line my first year. The second year, I played receiver or like tight end, right? So right before it was the nighttime game, it was a big game and shit. And right before the halftime, I went out for a pass and it hit me like right in my chest and I dropped it. Now, yeah, ain't no my mom, dad, nobody ain't there, but nigga, I'm bawling, crying. Wow. And the coach came up to me, he was like, "You hurt? What's wrong?" And I never forget Coach Bates. He was probably one of the best coaches that I had, but he came up, he was like, "Well, what's wrong?" I'm like, "Man, I dropped the ball at 8, crying like that for dropping the ball." Nigga, I had never done that shit before in my life, but it's just the expectation that I held. And he pushed me away. He said, "Man, nigga, thought something was wrong with you. Like like everybody drop a ball, but it was just my mindset that I felt like I had to be perfect. I was doing this and trying to show no one else other than myself. So I hold myself to a higher regard, even if it was somebody they're watching. Like I'm trying to be perfect. That come off sometimes as good or bad, but I'm trying to be the fucking, I don't half-ass it if it's something that I like. So to answer your question, so it ain't really if people are there or not.
So because it seems like we talked about you don't kind of embrace the milestone. It's not you don't embrace the milestones in real time or like the acknowledgments a lot in real time. And so, and then it seems like your expectations for yourself are much higher than people would be. And you care a lot more about if you disappoint or don't disappoint yourself in what you're doing. And then you was the only child and you kind of move on the solo dolo tip. What do people serve for you right now in regards to like fandom or like just support? What can people actually give you that you can't give yourself, kind of based on how you are, that makes you be like, man, I needed that from elsewhere, not within?
That's a great conversation. I mean, that's a great question. I like when people can still be themselves and be authentic. So how people serve me is me being able to be comfortable enough to say what I feel and them being able to agree with it or challenge it. You know what I'm saying? Like just being able to have conversations with people in authenticity like this serves me in a sense of, I know you're not going to get on here and cater to me, or don't expect anything like that from me.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get on here and have authentic conversation and bounce ideas off of each other. You can say, man, I was way off, or man, he was way off, or whatever it may be, but you get to show up as your authentic self and have authentic conversations. That's how people serve me nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to agree with you. I don't got to disagree with you. We can have the conversation. I can listen to your thoughts, share with you what I think, and you can respond back. You don't have to get to a place where it's a dislike or disdain because of what we're talking about, but just being able to show up and be your authentic self around people and with people, that's what I get the most from. Mm-hmm. All the judgment and shit comes from me. Like I'm gonna do that for myself, so I don't really care. It don't do a lot for me. Like I appreciate when people give me positive feedback. Of course, everybody likes that. Mm-hmm. I enjoy when people be like, "Hey man, I like that. That was dope. That was good," or whatever it may be, to a certain extent. But I get more from people just being their authentic selves with me. When people can be comfortable around me, they don't got to put a mask on. They don't have to like, oh, I think he this way, so I'm gonna act this way, and they acting fake and ain't the type of person they are. That's what I get the most from people, when you can just have a real conversation and just be real with each other. Mm-hmm. It ain't necessarily even got to be a conversation, just sharing real emotions. Mm-hmm. And that's what I get most from people today. Because you run into so much fake shit, so much social media shit where people only posting the best or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Man, my barber said some of the realest shit to me about 2 or 3 weeks ago that most men won't even say. And I mean, nobody knows his name here because a couple people listening, but he was saying he's a couple years older than me. He was like going through stuff with his baby mom and all of these different things. And he was in a genuine moment, jokingly, but still genuine, said, man, how long do I got to do this? Just in the sense of, like, just life is fucking hard. How transparent are people with you? Or let me rephrase that. How often do you get to be that trans? Because he and I have a relationship. He's been coming out here for 10 years. We're friends now. Not just.
I have a question around this too.
I just refer to him as that to people who know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But this is my friend. And very rarely do you get to be vulnerable with your friends like that and ask a real question. Like, man, I'm like you said it a couple of weeks, man, I'm tired, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if I can carry on. And he would, and what, not in the sense of he wanted to kill himself or nothing crazy like that, but he's just like, man, some days I wake up and I ask myself, like, bro, how long do I got to do this shit?
Yeah, bro.
Like, this is hard, fighting with my baby mom and trying to get custody and doing these things. So I just thought that was real. And that's what I appreciate most, when people can be real with you and you can be real with them in safe spaces.
I wanted to ask something based on that too. And it kind of makes a little more sense with what I'm going to ask, but I wanted to kind of elaborate a little more on that. It is such a challenge, bro, because it's like you go through life and sometimes it's just like you're looking for a finish line, right? Like there's an ending point. There's a completion point. Because we are conditioned that way when we were kids. Are we leaving elementary? We're going to middle school. We're moving to school, high school, some of us college. But there's finish lines. But then when you become an adult, it's like this
rat race.
It's a constant.
You're in the rat race.
Yeah, and there's really no finish line, because even when you achieve, you're still going. So it's very hard. I've been talking to my wife and just really trying to make peace with things, and it's really hard, bro. Like at moments, like I know me and you, we've talked, and me and her had a conversation, and it's just like, as of recent, I'm just having a really hard time without my family being around. And
you mean like your mom and your
sister, my dad. It's a real challenge for me that
you're around your wife's family, right?
Yes, her mama's side, yeah.
So I'm sure that has to do something too, right? Like she's there with her family, you ain't there with your people necessarily.
Yeah, it doesn't. Sure that, it you know, the relationship that we had with her family, as far as the dad side, it was a little bit more merged. So I would like rock over there like that's my people's too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like here, it's not necessarily the same. The love is there, but I think the commonality is just not quite the same. So, but just for me, just the pull up action. I'm pulling up on mom. What y'all doing? We're coming through. What we about to do? What y'all about to do? Y'all doing something? Let's go get a bite. Just that simple. And I realized, like you were talking about a while back, it's like you got 70 more time, 30 more, 20. And it's just like, as we get on this journey of being successful, things really, and I'm having another child, it just puts things in perspective for me, what's like really important. And it's like, that's why I wanted to do the being present episode. Cause like how, like Vince said, like how good is it to be successful if I'm the only one? You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's,
I got to enjoy this shit by myself.
Yeah. So it's a challenge, you know, it's God answered my prayer. He blessed us to be able to move here. It's just a give and take thing. You know, I strongly dislike living in Indiana, but I love my people, my little circle that I had, my little friends that I had, but I love living here. But I have nobody, I mean, really like that I connect with outside, like really my wife or whatever. So it's a strong give and take that I'm not trying to be a complainer about, but I'm just trying to find peace with that idea and concept, bro. It's crazy, man.
Absolutely, man. Like, no, I get what you're saying, because again, I'm here in Atlanta by myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, you said something that stuck out to me, like the pull up aspect. Like when I go home, I can just pull up on my mom and you just chilling, or your cousin or your homeboys, like people that have known you forever. You know what I'm saying? Not people that you just met, or not people who you still trying to get the groove of, or you know, whatever it may be. But just like you said, pulling up on your mom and your family, it ain't nothing like that,
bro.
And I miss that too. I 100% feel what you're talking about. And I've thought that. Like I've thought about just going back home to the sense of, like you said, it's only a couple more times, bro, that this is going to be able to happen. And I appreciate it so much more now than I used to. Like even anytime that I'm in a city, like people will pull up on me and they'll know, like, my family, like where we are and what I'm doing. So that's definitely, I feel you 1,000,000% on it.
It's just so needed for all those that are like, you know, maybe you may contemplate moving or whatever. And I've even spoke this to my mom. You know, I tell her, like, I love it here, but I said, Mama, it does get challenging. You know, I will tell you, like, it is a challenge. Like, I miss y'all so much. Like, sometimes it's hard to FaceTime y'all because y'all look, I mean, you look like you
want to be around.
Yeah, it's like I want to be bored with y'all.
Don't be in a group chat and all of them in the same city. They having barbecues, you know, and shit.
You see what I'm saying? Like
y'all coming, come on,
like
that happens with me. Yeah, like my family got a group chat, and I'm in there. Well, we pulling up at this such and such time, and they'll throw a joke. Oh, what time you coming? Talking to me, and you know, just it's definitely
it's a challenge, bro. Like people gotta.
I think the biggest challenge when you get older, and here's the biggest challenge of it for me, becoming older, realizing that we're not immortal, realizing that you know it doesn't last forever, and losing my grandmother about 2 years ago, you start to understand at 30, 35, 40, like, damn, bro, like I remember being a little kid running around these events, then I see my little cousin them running around it now. Like that literally, like it ain't some long slave memory where you thinking it was 200 years ago, like when you used to hear your auntie and your uncles talk. You're that person now. You looking at it like, God damn, that was fast, bro. I remember I was wishing to be the grown up here, and now I'm the grown up here, and this kid's running. Like, how many more times before I'm the old person here?
Yeah.
And the old people who I'm appreciating now, they gone.
Yeah.
Like once you hit a certain age in your life as a man, you just start thinking about that, and just like, you're not, as far as you saying, wondering about it and stuff, you're not alone. Like that happens to all of us once you start reaching a certain age, especially when people start dying. People that have been around your whole life that you could call all the time, talk to, and then he's like, shit.
Yeah, bro. Like and bringing new life, being blessed to be able to bring new life into this world with my wife. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, I want to share these moments, you know? I want to share with y'all. I mean, you know, it's on this journey of pursuit. This is kind of back to the last episode. In the journey of pursuit, you got to understand the sacrifices. Like, I mean, this is not like some Big Joe Budden podcast or whatever you want to call it, but like it is a sacrifice. The move that you made to Atlanta, the move that we made to Florida, like it is a sacrifice for real. Coming from like the states that we came from to move into a bigger pool, it's a real sacrifice. So it's you can't have it. You can't always have everything your way. And I'm okay with that. I just got to figure out my common peaceful space with it. Do I need to like set up 4 trips a year and I'm staying for a week, or I got to do something? I know I got to do something, and it's because I need them. I need them.
Yeah.
I love doing all.
They feed your soul.
Exactly.
Your soul. Yeah.
Exactly. And
I feel different when I leave from home. You getting all that love. Like like Mitch say. Like Mitch say, man, I feel like I can't get it somehow.
Yeah.
I love the game. I can't remember the
exact
exact
game. I love the hustle.
Yeah, I
man.
love the game.
I feel like one of them ball playing niggas or something.
Yeah, like the people, like that shit feels good when you're around people who got genuine love for you. Like they see you grow, they're proud of the shit that you're doing. They can joke with you, like you can have fun without, that is different, especially when you pick up and leave and you go back and you're like, damn, man, I missed this.
Yeah. Got to make it count. So, I mean, I know that was a little side tangent there, but I'm it's good to know that, I think
you ain't
me and you,
you
ain't done. Yeah. So, but I did want to ask, I think you've said this before, so I guess it kind of changes on the sidebar, but you said a few times, like, this is like barbershop talk. I wanted to ask, what barbershop talk like this?
Definitely talk like this at every,
because I was like, I think this is more of like your close homie talk. Like, I don't know.
I'm good friends with my barber.
See, that's what I'm like.
I have a bias with. So my barber, I started getting my hair cut by him maybe 10 years. Now he has a studio in his home. So only like most of the crazy thing is I know most of his clients. Because I go over there and chill. We'll just be sitting up there talking or whatnot, and people come in and come out, sit there and chill. He got a really close relationship with most of the people whose hair he cut. And no, these are the type of conversations that we have. And of course, a lot of it is bullshit about TV and music, and a lot of it is about that. He don't really watch sports, so it's not a lot of sports talk. But yeah, we get into shit like that all the time that I've been getting my hair cut there. Especially after the first maybe 2-3 years, once you really get to know someone. And then once he used to, for the last maybe at least 8 years, he had his own space. So like one of those studio spaces where you got your own room, or now the studio space that he got in his house. So it's intimate. It's an intimate setting. It ain't just like random people walking in like, I want to cut, bro. So most of the people in there, I know, they know me, and we've had conversations before. So at least it's kind of talk like this. We joke with each other, hold him accountable for bullshit that he be on, call each other out, stuff like that. So when I say barbershop talk, that's what I'm used to. Okay. At least for the last decade to get my haircut.
Was it like that in Tennessee?
For some people. I wouldn't. So let me see. The barbershop was a hangout spot in Tennessee. But just for different reasons. Niggas was trapping out. Niggas was trapping out of there.
He was getting it.
So that was the reason that it was a hangout spot there. So niggas, it was the same kind of vibe. Niggas knew each other, and you sit in there, you talk for a while.
You
but
kicking it, you
sports.
shooting it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sports, niggas playing chess and shit like that. It wasn't it wasn't like I'm saying now. Yeah. But niggas actually know each other. And again, I was younger there too, so
of course. Even then, you wasn't even about some of those
conversations, right? Exactly. I ain't got time to sit up here and talk to y'all, the old ass niggas. Let me get out here in these streets.
I'm getting
what's going on.
I'm right. I'm getting it.
About nothing. Yeah, I don't want to hear none of this shit.
I thought it was
cut my hair.
hurry up too. I ain't trying to be here all day.
Nigga. I ain't trying to be here all day.
Bro, I had a barber, bro, that used to stop. Like when he started cutting at his house. Like, bro, it was the worst thing that ever happened. This dude, like, I would come over, I say, bro, I will pay you extra. What do I got to do to be first? And he be like, man, you come. What time? I said, well, how early can you get? He's like, you can come at 9:30. I'm coming at 9:30 at the apartment. This man don't walk downstairs. He has like one of the apartments. You come and you go straight up the stairs in the house, like it's not in the hallway. And so this man would come out to the balcony, drop the key down. I'll open the door, go up the stairs. This man got his do-rag on, washing his face. I'm like, oh my gosh! Then
barbers got the word. They be on their own type of time because they know you need them though.
Because they know you need them.
My barber still do this. The guy I'm talking about to this day still do that. Nigga
I,
had you hanging out 3-4 hours. Like, bro, I came to get a haircut. Now we 4 hours
my
in.
ego too crazy
You
now.
wanted
I'm
me to
like,
watch a TV show and all of this bullshit.
yeah,
Let me
that's what I'm
go.
saying. Yeah, the
But again,
DVDs and
I usually set aside time when I'm going to get my haircut. I'm probably gonna be gone for a minute, like 4 or 5 hours.
this is even in a relationship.
I was gonna say you got a wife, so you can't.
I was like,
Me,
bro, what type of time you on, my guy? 5
It
hours
used
at
to
the
be about that long,
barbershop, you're
even in a
cheating.
relationship. Yeah,
You're cheating.
even in a relationship, it used to be about that long. Not because, again, when I was in a relationship, she understood that I was cool with my barber. So I was
This
just
is like a whole thing.
chilling.
It's a thing.
Yeah, like I'm sitting up here, we chilling, we talking, or whatever it may be. And plus, she would call, I would answer. She would hear where I'm at. Like it wouldn't be no, you disappeared.
Right.
You were supposed to be at the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? I like to be straightforward with people, so I don't remember lies well enough. Yeah. But yeah, even in a relationship, 4 or 5 hours, like, but she'll call 2 or 3 times. Yeah, I'm still here, still right here. You hear the people in the background, don't you?
Yeah, so, okay. Yeah. Still here. You hear the people.
You ain't pulling that off.
You over the face, man. No, that is
you ain't pulling that off.
No, there's not a thing in the world I could say I was doing for 4 or 5 hours that ain't work.
That's funny.
Or church where it's
you got to think too. Here in Atlanta, it's an hour to and an hour from. So anywhere you go, it's gonna take at least 2 hours. You driving an hour to get.
So you counting all that in the 5, or you saying 5 plus the?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, hell no. Now you getting into, like you saying, territory. Okay. You talking about 7, 8 hours for a haircut.
That's what I was saying. I was like, bro.
Wrong. But in the 5 hours, you including the hour to get there, the hour to get back. So that's 3 hours. Hour for a cut, that's 3 hours. Okay, you sitting here chilling for a minute. It's reasonable to be gone from maybe 12 to 4:35.
Wow. All right. But yeah, when you said barbershop talk with this, I was like, I don't know if this show is, I don't know what the tag is, other, obviously elevating black conversation amongst black men, but I was like, I don't know this, because my barber in Indiana, we would have like personal talks, but it still wasn't this level. Like this level is some like high conscious, vulnerable conversations. I've never had like that type of vulnerability with a barber before.
Now, I will say though, even when I was in Tennessee though, when before I moved here, the barbershop that I went to, niggas would get into conversations like that every now and then.
Yeah, every now and then.
All the time, but yeah, you would have some compelling conversations, even in my earlier days going to the barbershop. All my barbershop experiences are really, because now I'm thinking even back to when I was a younger kid, the nigga who used to cut my hair, his name was Lucky. That nigga used to like all the niggas from the hood used to come to his barbershop and just be down there gambling and hanging out, and niggas would be talking and joking and shit. So it's always been like a fellowship experience for me with barbershops.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's interesting. I may come back and see how I view this show, like what type of talk this is.
Go to some better barbershops, bro.
I mean, my barber, he is, I don't know if he's Hispanic or Cuban. I don't know if he's Hispanic or Cuban.
Oh, hell no. That's a problem.
No, it ain't. He quiet. He just cut my hair.
Cold. They cold.
He cut my hair and he just be quiet with it. I mean, I've talked to him before, like but he's more of a you talk to me.
Relate on too much shit.
Yeah, he a young boy. He like 18.
Oh, for real?
I couldn't believe it. I thought he was older, bro. I thought he was like 24 or something. Like he tatted up everything. Like I did not know he was that age, bro. I was like, oh,
that's interesting.
All right, but he does his thing. So, but yeah, that was it. I just thought that was interesting, man. But this week, we talking about embarrassment, and I found this. I don't know how I exactly came up with this thought. It wasn't too much longer after our last episode where I started to really think about this. But
yeah, you hit me with this really early.
Yeah, I'm trying to do better with that too.
Thinking about this.
Yeah, I'm trying to do better with that too, because so much is going on and so much is going to start happening that I want to make sure that I'm on top of. As soon as something hits your mind, if it's worth a conversation, yeah, let's get to it. But I know we've talked about embarrassment, maybe a piece or portion at some point. There have been moments that I have thought about in being embarrassed as a grown man and how I buried it, especially if no one was around, how I buried it. And instead of just being honest, how I was embarrassed, I would bury it and turn it into some other kind of energy. Like, oh, the audacity. I can't believe, like, I'm whatever. It's like, but really, it's like I'm embarrassed because of these and it's like it made me ask, like, when the last time you heard a black man, a man, say, bro, I ain't gonna even lie, I was embarrassed.
Mm.
I don't even know if I've ever heard that before as a grown man talking about the adulthood.
The you did right though, specified as black man, right? Because
Okay,
you
right.
do see the corny white dude or the corny foreign dude. Oh man, that was embarrassing, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
shucks. I think that, and I don't want to turn this into a finger pointing thing, but they're given the freedom to be embarrassed. We're not. Like again, where would you and I go with our embarrassment? Where do you feel comfortable telling someone that you were embarrassed? Maybe your wife, probably.
I'm pretty comfortable, but it's just never brought up, I guess, and I don't know what the capacity, because of the reasons you're going with.
Right. Which you mean you're not sure if you told someone that they would even care?
I'm not sure how it would come up because they're not even in that space of comfort to even go down those lines of embarrassment in some kind of conversation. So it's probably like what you're saying, like it's buried, like it's buried, or I never admit it, I never do. I'm not gonna come out knowing, man, you know what, that one time I was embarrassed, bro. Like, I'm not gonna come out of nowhere. It's like, you know what I'm saying like I was embarrassed. Like, I'm not gonna lead a conversation, but I just have never. I remember, like, my father-in-law. It is a lot of times where, like, it was a lot of times where we would have conversations. We had many good conversations when our relationship was up, but like it was a lot of times I had noticed that like there was no admittance of like you looked bad there. And I remember when there was a first time a story came up and he was telling me, and I thought, oh, it's gonna be another one of those like whatever story, but he was like actually looked bad in it, and I respected it so much because I was like, wow.
That he told the story.
Yeah, that he told us.
Do you mean like everyday clumsy, like I tripped and fell embarrassed, or are you talking about like life altering? I got a DUI embarrassed,
like
because there's a difference, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
that life altering joint. And even if it's something small that becomes a life altering, something that sticks with you, that you still are mindful of. Because I got a few scenarios.
You got a few embarrassing scenarios as an adult.
As an adult.
Jesus.
Yeah, don't do that. See, look, this guy.
No,
Jesus. And then you put all that extra on it, man. Come on.
No, I ain't mean it that way.
That man he might got one. That's what he telling you. His 40 years
That's
of life.
not what I'm saying at all. I smaller ones on a daily basis, I probably have more account for. Like, damn, I couldn't believe I done that. I have, like you said, the major ones, like DUIs. I've been fired from jobs before.
Yeah, fired from jobs. That's one of the ones.
One of the most embarrassing experiences as an adult was going to jail. Hanging out in the wrong place, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, not really being able to explain how it happened to people that cared about me. Like, yeah, that was embarrassing. I was 20, but depending on what you define as adult too. Like I mean, no,
we once you out of school and we count that.
This is like 23, 24.
But what specific part about it that resonated today that was like the most embarrassing part of that scenario? Because there's normally something that stands out the most. I mean, the whole experience is, but there's something that sticks with you that you'll think about when you think about that scenario.
The most embarrassing thing is that people don't really know, how do you say this? They don't know what you have going on, right? Like there's this, especially when you're younger, you're presenting these different hats. I'm this person over here, I'm this person over there, I'm this far, and this all the way out here over here with these people. So the person that you present to some people, them hearing like you went to jail and it was drug charges and guns were involved and all this shit, they're like, oh, what in the hell? Like I would have never expected that. Mm-hmm. So it's embarrassing because there's this certain image that certain people have of you that now they see and they're like, well, damn, motherfucker, was he lying to me the whole time? So now you feel like a piece of shit more so because you're presenting a person that you haven't been able to live up to, at least in my experience. For
Mm.
me, that's what happened. Because even as a nigga was outside, as I say that we were, it wasn't nothing where I was disrespectful in front of my mom or my family, right?
Mm.
So for me to call my mom and be like, "Oh, I'm in jail," that was a surprise to her, because to her knowledge, ain't nothing that you out here doing that you should be in jail for. Now that may not necessarily be the truth. That may be because you hide it well from, you know, that part of your life with your family and your mom or whatnot. So the most embarrassing part was maybe being looked at as a liar, like you were hiding something or doing
Wow.
something that they, like you had a whole nother life that they weren't aware of. And them having to ask the questions of, okay, like, so what's really going on? Like, what happened? Are you good? Like, do you have a problem? Is something wrong?
Mm.
Because when people are agreeing to that and they're square, they don't understand, hey, this just something that happens when you're doing this. Like, it's just really a part of it. You can't explain that to a mom or a grandma or a cousin that ain't got nothing to do, like don't have any understanding of it. You can't explain. I mean, like, well, niggas is outside and they doing what you're doing. Like, of course, at some point you're gonna go to jail. Like, just be happy it wasn't a big charge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's hard to explain to someone, and that's embarrassing to be like, well, shit, now a motherfucker probably looking at me like they look at every motherfucker before. Like, I know my mom compared me to my dad in that situation. It was like, well, hey, look, I've seen this story before, my nigga, and I'm here to tell you I ain't here for it. Like, if that's the road that you want to take, I'm letting you know that I'm clocking out right now. That's what she told me. And for you to be like, well, God damn, that's not blaming her at all, not being like, well, damn, mom, that's fucked up, but being like, well, shit, that's what you think, that's the road you think that I'm headed down?
Yeah, you write me off already.
Right. Like, well, let me button up. So that's the embarrassing part about it, I would say, for me. What say you?
That's deep. I can see why that doesn't become a conversation, because it is very layered.
Yeah, like who you have that with?
That's
right?
a very
like, who
layered.
Do you have that with?
That's so layered. Like, it's so many. For me, like, of course the DUI, but it was the second one, and that second one really what
I know. Was scary.
Yeah, well, it was.
I know that was scary.
That
first
was
one for me was like that was terrifying. Nigga, getting two, I couldn't.
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. That first one was scary because I mean, I never been. I mean, well, anyways, underage drinking in college, but I don't really whatever. But like that second one was so different. Like I spoke before, because I hit somebody.
Now people treating you like a piece of shit.
Yeah, you know, but the
correct me if I'm wrong, but now people treating you like.
Well, everybody wasn't in on the loop, really. You know, but what was so embarrassing was that my mom had just got in town. She was moving to Indy, and so she was gonna be staying with us. And so I called my wife, and so literally when the police pulled up, I literally was handcuffed and put in the car when my mom and my sister pulled up. I mean, mom and wife pulled up. That was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. I'm like, bro, like, because my mom and sister, they helped bail me out the first time. So for her to pull up, move back here, staying with us, and to see me get locked up, and I tie it back to what you were talking about with Odd Fridays, that feeling of I want to have a good time, I want to have fun, because I'm so not used to it. I'm going over the top because I'm compensating for something. I'm drinking more than I should be because I'm compensating.
I'm comfortable.
Because I'm trying to be comfortable, and I want this feeling. I want to make this last forever with my homeboys hanging out, because I don't know when I'm gonna do this again. I don't know what life will. I don't know. So I'm going harder than anybody when it comes to indulging. But that I've learned now, take it easy, bro. Relax. You're gonna get another chance. At least that's the mentality I gotta have. Man, when they locked me up and my mom was like, I mean, and then when I got out, of course, I spoke about like the embarrassment of like my wife seeing me and I couldn't even lift my head up like that. That's by far, as a grown man, that's probably the most embarrassing. But like one that I never spoke of, like as a grown man, like me and my wife was boyfriend, girlfriend, and I wasn't right. I wasn't right, bro. There was this girl at the time that I was like, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like side texting, trying to see what's up. I'm about 20s, early 20s. And so I'm trying to see what's up. I don't know where the wires got crossed, but somehow my wife ended up taking like a fake number or something. And so at some point, we was boyfriend, girlfriend. At some point, I think I'm still texting this woman, from college. and I'm
Who's your wife?
texting her. And so
What's
here's
with
where
your
I
wife?
get, bro. So here's where I get caught up. Me and my
Jesus Christ.
girlfriend, we have plans. And then the other girl's like, we should meet up. I canceled plans with my girlfriend. Try to meet up.
Oh,
Bro.
Jesus Christ. I can't believe
Bro.
she married you. God.
Oh, bro.
You know, I know, because you know how women is, bro.
Oh, man.
Do she bring that up? See, I bet she brings that up.
Nah, not really. Like, cause
not really, but she still allude to it though.
Well, here's why. Because there was an occasion when we got married, tried to pull it off again, and I was on my up.
Man, you wild.
I was clean, and then I was clean because at that point I put that aside for real. I still was just nigging. Like that's nigga being a nigga. Like that's what I was. But that was so embarrassing because at that point I've always held myself to a certain standard. You know what I'm saying? Like even though I had some tendencies like most men do. Yeah, like most men do. You want to kind of look over the fence, but I never was like going to be on some like crazy, I ain't about nothing type nigga with this girl, you know. But that was like definitely like hands down embarrassing when I got caught up on that. Like, oh man, I was in the doghouse for a grip. I can't even remember how long, but that was like, you know, I think that was like the last straw before I like really got my act together for real.
She must really love you, nigga.
Hey man, I'm a decent man, brother. Like, hey man, I just women see the potential. Like that's their gift.
Absolutely,
like, they see the potential. She knew it's like, okay, he on something else, but there he somewhere in there there's something. But I mean,
somewhere in there that's a good man.
Like I never.
That's dope.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that definitely was another embarrassing stories, man.
That's an interesting thing that you bring up.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you about, as we're into this topic, when you're talking about relationships and being embarrassed with something that you've done to your woman, do you think because there are not a lot of people that hold us accountable because we don't have those conversations when it comes to like cheating and doing stuff outside of your relationship, that men aren't embarrassed to do that in front of their friends? Or do you think that we just think that's acceptable and it's like cool?
You're talking about like being on some crazy in front of your friends.
Like you got a wife at home, but you still like all us out and you still get numbers and still do your thing or whatnot. Wouldn't you think that as a man that would be embarrassing for your wife and yourself, especially if people know y'all? Do you think that men just look at it like, okay, that's what we do? Like he getting his in.
Like what makes us comfortable and not embarrassed to
even
like knowing that our mans know we got a situation.
That's one of the things for me. I would be embarrassed for that, especially if the nigga fucked with my girl. Like if she fuck with you and y'all cordial and whatnot, and
I see
y'all talk on the phone, like I would be embarrassed. But I know I'm not like most people, and not trying to say that it's giving myself a boost or anything. It's just a personality thing for me.
Yeah.
I see niggas do it, and I wonder why they are not embarrassed. Is it because men don't hold them accountable to it? Is it just we don't give two fucks about it?
That's exactly why. We don't.
But who?
We don't
okay,
hold
so
each other accountable.
Take it a step further then.
Yeah.
Who gonna be the nigga that's gonna be like, hey man, you got a girl at home? Like who gonna be the nigga that break it up when you talking to a chick because you got a wife and be like, hey bro, nah, bro, you got a wife, bro. Like how lame do that come off to us, right? Like if we being 100%,
like, in our 20s, like that's definitely like
even
we're not
now
doing
at 40. If I knew a nigga had a wife,
I wouldn't do that now. I wouldn't do that.
You gonna go up to the nigga? If I knew a nigga had a wife and we was out watching the game or whatnot, and I see him getting a little too cozy with a chick, I'm not. Well, I don't think that I'm going up and being like, "Hey, bro, man, think about your wife, bro."
I'm not
like. Are you gonna do that?
Yeah, I would do it now. Yeah, I do it now.
You know what? I believe you, Mo. That's what's crazy.
Because I'm not capping. Because you think I'm like, oh, bro, think about the. I would be like, I would. Here's how I would do it. I would do it. Let's just say,
thing is, I believe you, Mo, but I don't think that most niggas is built like that.
I know. Well, remember this. I'm the same guy that challenged my bros after the DUI on them saying, "Oh, y'all my wives. Y'all look at her
acting like it's that." Yeah.
So I'm like, if y'all, no,
that's why I say I believe you.
Yeah, I would.
The conversations that we have and me knowing your personality, I believe you would say that, but you're one of a few that would. Is what I'm saying. That's my point. Like, so why aren't most men that accountable? What do you think that is?
I mean, a lot of them probably never had no fathers around that told them, that held them accountable. Like they told you, like, nah, you out of pocket. You remember when you had Rich on here and he was telling him like how he quit the football team and how his dad said, nah, that ain't the way we do it. That ain't the way we do that.
Yeah.
So most of these men that don't do that, they don't do it because they ain't seen it. So it's like, I mean, nobody told me I couldn't. I mean, mama told me, but that's my mom. That's a woman. Like, I'm not looking at like her as the one I'm a man. I'm gonna do what I do. Most of us don't. Most of us didn't have a father around to hold you accountable. Like, this is a man checking another man. So when it comes to us checking another man,
but most men would feel like that ain't none of your business, though, right? Like, when does it become your business? Does she got to be your friend? Do you just got to respect him as a man and don't want to see him doing that? Like, at what point do you feel like I need to step up and say something? Because I think that's what most men struggle with. Yeah. You're a grown ass man, bro. You can do it. If you want to ruin your family, bro, that's on you.
Yeah.
Most men probably look at it that way, right?
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So at what point is it because I have a vested interest in you being happy with your wife? Is it because I ain't finna be the nigga who you was out with and you cheated on? Like, what is it? Or at what point do a man be like, nah, I gotta say something, bro?
It's probably normally like when they have some kind of rapport with their woman,
the wife.
Like,
you gotta have
the wife
some type
or the girlfriend.
The
but I think that if you like, I mean, for me, it's just like at this age now, rather it's your wife, your girlfriend, or like you really rock with her, and you spoke about her, like you thinking about, I'm going to be like, bro, is it worth it for real for you, bro? Like, is it really worth it? Because understand what come with it. Understand what come with it. If you want to get it off, you're gonna get it. You get it off.
Because most niggas would do it. I don't even know if I would do that. I ain't gonna.
But here's the thing.
Like, I'm looking at it like it ain't none of my business.
But what do you lose doing?
I don't lose anything, but bro, like, we've spoken about this numerous times on this podcast about my problem with authority.
Yeah.
So that's what comes in for me. Like, who am I to be like, hey, bro, man, you got a wife, bro.
I'm a friend.
Like, you got kids.
That ain't in the friend.
That's a good point.
You see what I'm saying?
It is. Like, you're teaching me right now. I'm just telling you how I look at it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like it's a grown ass man, bro. Like,
yeah,
he know he got a family at home. You know he got a wife. And like, he
do.
know all the responsibilities that he has.
You're right.
Why do I need to go reiterate this shit in this nigga ear?
Because sometimes,
but again, I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, I hear you. I'm
trying to get to that point where maybe I would be that person who would be like, hey, bro. Like, come on, bro.
I mean, and then because you have experiences like of you making the wrong decision. Like, dang, it's just sometimes they could be looking for a sign, bro. You don't even know. Like, they could be like, man, I'm really thinking about it. I don't know. And then you come through right at the right time and just say something that they will or won't, but it didn't hurt to say something. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to be friends after I say this. That's, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to say it, like, damn, bro.
Think that's why a lot of men refrain from it? Because they ain't really good friends, and they think if they say something, we ain't as close no more now. I can't be myself around this nigga no more because he's saying something when I'm spitting the bitches now. Do you think they got something to do with it?
I think it has something to do with, if I do this, it changes the dynamics of this friendship. And I'm cool with what it already is. I'm cool with us just drinking. I'm cool with us just smoking. I'm cool with us just chilling. We kicking it, watching. Yeah, I'm cool with what the dynamics are. If I do this, now it becomes a place where I'm holding them accountable. And when did our friendship start having
that nigga?
Yeah, this ingredient. This wasn't an ingredient.
What's my nigga name on Minister Society? Now I'm that nigga.
Sharif.
Shareem. Now I'm Sharif.
Nobody want to hear that bull. Like,
nobody want to hear that bullshit, man.
But that's, and I mean, at your young 20s, for our younger listeners, like, you probably won't do it, but it's like, you're not a square or lane for doing that. Like, you a stand-up dude because you just presenting the options. They gonna move how they gonna move. I've learned, like, don't put so much stake in you changing their mind. Put the stake in.
See,
I'm sorry. I love you enough to at least let me put this on your mind. You may have thought about it, you may not. I'm gonna shoot this here because I'm like, bro, I see how you moving. I see Shawty, she is bad, and I know you got a whole situation at the crib, bro. I'm just gonna tell you, like, women got that intuition. Do you really want to go down this rabbit hole? Because this little 15 to 45 minutes of sex, bro, it could cost you more than you imagine. You might want to just go ahead and take care of business on your own at the crib or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna give you that now. You do what you do. Seriously, like,
okay.
Yeah.
Here's my biggest issue with that, and it's maybe a personality thing for me, or somebody listening may be like, yeah, Lou, that's how I think too.
Okay.
When niggas do that, I think that's an ego thing on their end.
When they speak up?
Yeah, is it really that you're trying to protect me from something, or are you trying to be holier than thou and be like, oh, well, I was the nigga that told him not to do it if it ever comes out.
What?
I was the nigga. It was me. I was the pretentious motherfucker in the back, man. Like, nah, let's not go down that road. It looks spooky. Like, because again, it's maybe a personality thing for me, but a lot of the times I look at people like that. Oh, this motherfucker is doing this out of ego. It's his ego that make him step up and say something, because you said something in that rundown that struck that with me and made me come out and say it. It's like, well, at least I said something. You're gonna do what you're gonna do anyway. My nigga, if you thought that, then don't say nothing to me. Because I want you to let me finish though. Okay. I want you to have enough confidence and enough vigor to come into the situation with it. Like, my nigga, if I'm saying something, I plan on changing your mind. I ain't just bringing this shit up for the record so a nigga can be like, well, Lou said something, man, but he went on and did what he did anyway. And that's my problem with it. And that's the problem that I have with most niggas that would do something like that. Like, don't do it just to do it. Do it and do it all the way, nigga. Like you said, make the sale, bro. Convince me that this isn't a good idea if you done doubled down enough to be like, hey, don't do this. Don't just say, hey, don't do it, and then I give you one little objection. And you be like, all right, bro, you do what you want to do. You're a grown man. But Ken, what's the point then at you even saying anything? If you ain't gonna go all the way with it and be like, nah, bro, you're not doing this. This is the stance that I'm taking with it. Like, you nigga gotta drag me out of here for you to be able to get this done. If that ain't the case, then don't say anything. That's how I look at it.
Spike,
I imagine that you disagree.
You are wild. You talk about ego of just saying something. I ain't letting you leave out of here. I'm taking your keys. I'm telling Shawty you don't even.
Yes, nigga. If you're gonna do it, do it. If you're gonna do all of it, if you're gonna start the conversation, then do it.
Joe Clark over here.
Don't just lock the doors, put the chains on the doors, nigga. Hey, like, don't come at me with that half-ass, weak-ass, soft-ass, like, well, bro, I mean, you're gonna do what you want to do.
Let's put you in a scenario, bro. Let's put you there. Because I think you're thinking it's like some, like, I'm because if y'all don't,
I want it to be.
Here's what
I'm just saying, I want it to be authentic, like we were saying earlier.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be authentic because we don't see this in male friendship, black men friendships, right? So the moment, but he know how you are. He know you got a little situation or whatever. So he found it in himself to speak up. Like, he already seen some close calls, but it didn't turn into nothing. But tonight looked like the night you about to go ahead and hop over the fence. He said something.
Okay.
And he says that approach, but like, look, bro, then that should be enough. There, he couldn't have. He couldn't have approached you coming in with the mindset, I got something to gain. I'm gonna walk away and say, hey, I said something. I'm not coming. If I feel the need to be the square lane bro right now and speak up and tell you, like, bro, you got to get out of pocket. I'm gonna tell you, bro, I don't think you really want to do that. Everything gonna change at this point. And then, like, but you're a grown man. I ain't telling you what to do. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. But I'm just telling you, bro.
That's where I have the problem. That part.
But then if I do it, but if I don't do that, then how authoritative am I being?
The fence. That's what I'm saying.
How's that
That's the point that I'm making, though. Like, if you're gonna say that and you're saying that to a real friend, right? I want you to be a real friend, and your objection to be like, nah, like, bro, you're not doing this. Like, it ain't gonna be no soft ass objection and being like, well, I mean, if you want to do it, you can go ahead and do it, because at that point now, I'm wondering, and again, it may just be a Spike Lee thing. I'm wondering, like, well, what the fuck did you even say something in the first place for?
There you go.
See? Like you just said, you've seen it lead up to this point. You've seen the other conversations that I had. Why are you now just saying something and you soft with it and being like, well, I mean, bro, like, you're not supposed to be doing that, man. But hey, I ain't going on me, bro.
They
you get put out the ball, like man. It ain't on me.
That's why you talk about some Winnie the Pooh friend over here talking soft. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess, oh, bro, man, I should have done that.
Man, it ain't on me, bro. I don't know, bro. I'm just saying, man.
You're wild.
That's how it sounds like when you say that to me. Like, other than, like, again, the people that I want to be around when you ask me what pleases me the most is someone who could be like, I'm going all the way in. It's not a sense of I'm making a suggestion because I think this will ruin your life and I want you to do right. It's like, no, bro, I know who you are. I'm comfortable with being the person that comes up to you and being like, nah, bro, we not doing this. Like, those are the people that you should be hanging out with or expecting that type of, if they are breaking into it, that's the type of break into it that they should have. Like, it shouldn't be no soft objection.
But it's
that's
not
all I'm saying. Like, it can't be halfway.
It's not soft.
Like, if I'm your homeboy and you respect me, like, I'm gonna go all the way, and you got to respect that.
But who are you to go all the way? Because now you sound like you're trying to be my dad.
Well, why even say anything?
No, but now you sound like you're trying to be my dad. Now you're like, no, right. I'm not letting that.
I'm trying to be the nigga that knows best for you right now when you don't know best.
Oh, but this is the person that has a problem with authority.
Yes.
See, that don't work. That don't work.
That's the problem. The problem with it is, Mo, you can't go into it halfway.
That's not halfway.
Like a niggas, we don't respect that as men. Like, men don't respect that. You know good and well, just like I know, if somebody came up to you, your homeboy that you respect, and you have enough respect for him to listen to him and be like, you know what, you're right. I may not want to do what you're saying right now, but you made such a compelling point, and I fuck with you so much, I'm going to do it even though I didn't want to, right? Like, there should be friends like that you have in your life. So if you come to me as a friend and you're like, hey, man, I don't know, like,
no, that ain't the approach. You state your point and say, but at the end of the day, bro, you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
See, that's soft though.
No, it's not soft. That's not soft. No.
Don't say you do what you want to do, because you're right. As a man, I know that I have the right to do that.
You're a grown man. You're respecting this other grown man by saying that I'm gonna give you my picture and say, bro, look, I don't rock with that, bro. I think that's trash. I don't really like what you're doing, bro. I don't think you should do that. You're going to mess up your whole family situation. But at the end of the day, you're a grown man. You're going to do what you're going to do. That's not soft. No. Because
giving a nigga
no. That's not giving him out.
I'm not giving a nigga
hold on.
with an out.
Here's why it's not an
out for me if I fuck with you.
But it's not an out, though. You know why it's not? Because I led with my point. That's not giving you an out by saying you're a grown man. That's respecting. No. That's respecting that we are peers. That's respecting that this is man to man. I'm not over you. I'm not your father. I'm not trying to be an authoritative figure. I'm stepping in saying this is why I don't rock with it, but at the end of the day, it's up to you, and it is up to them. So I'm reassuring that I'm not trying to be an authoritative figure right now, stepping out of pocket of our friendship for the first time and tell you what you're wrong at. I'm telling you, I'm still your friend, and I don't rock with this, but at the end of the day, you're going to do what you're going to do. You know what? And you know why it works? Because it's like when your woman tells you, hey, you going to wear that? You be like, yeah, I'm going to put this on. Oh, okay.
But no.
Look, it is the same.
Energy. No, I'm talking about man.
No, bro. Here's why it's the same.
Man conversations.
Hold on. Here's why it's the same. It's the same because
man energy was wild.
That was. Here's why it's the same.
Nuts.
That is nuts. But here's why it's the same. It's the same because it's like just the fact that you brought it up, I have to be able to shake that out of my mind, bro. Like when a woman, I don't know how many times my wife has said, you gonna wear that? I liked it better when you wore this. Well, I'm gonna wear this. Then 5 minutes go, 10 minutes go. I'm still thinking like, dang, what's she trying to say? She really trying to say this? So when a man comes up and say, bro, I'm telling you, bro, you're gonna do this, you still want to pursue, nah, bro, I got it. Don't even worry about it. I got it. But the more you do that, you're still thinking about what your homeboy just said to you. He's like, any day you're gonna do what you do, bro, but I don't rock with you. You're gonna play all that in your head so it works, bro. It's not coming hard. It's respecting the relationship and the approach that you've never done that before. When you've been friends with somebody for a long time and you normally do this, then yeah, now you're gonna come with the gangster like, bro, man, bro, fall back.
Not even gangster, bro. I'm just saying it needs to be more affirmative in the sense of I'm not giving you an out and saying if this is what you want to do. Because from the point, all of these conversations that we've had about elevating conversation, yeah, there are people that you do that with, Mo. You're absolutely right. I want to acknowledge that. I'm talking about the niggas who you really friends with and you really have, you have the best intention for their life, right? You know what it means to them to be happily in a relationship, happily married, and you see them making a mistake. I'm talking about if you see your friend making a mistake and you not wavering off, I think this is wrong, right? That's what I'm talking about in the sense of respect. Like, even when you're saying, the authoritative figure, the person on the other end of that, the person who I'm telling, hey man, like, you shouldn't be doing this, bro. That person would be looking at me like, okay, you right. Lou don't usually say this. So if he has came out and said this, and he was firm on this is what's going on and you're in the wrong, not if you want to do it, then you can do it. It's on you. That's the part of it that I have the problem with. When you have a strong relationship with somebody, you have, like, again, pause, man energy. You can tell somebody when they're wrong, when they're in the wrong, and you don't have to give them an out. You don't have to say, but if you want to do it this way, bro, then it's cool. Because that's giving a nigga the opportunity to be like, well, maybe I'm fucked up, or maybe this is just me, or maybe not. No, bro. I know you. I'm not giving you the opportunity to be like, oh, I'm gonna do it just because, like he said, I mean, you can do it if you want. That's on me. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm telling you what's wrong and what's right based off our relationship and me having enough confidence and enough
rapport,
currency in what we got. Yeah, importance in what you and I got going on together. Like, if I seen you out cheating on your wife with everything that we've built in doing this show and the conversations that we have, Mo, it wouldn't be a, but bro, if you feel like you cool with it, man, it's cool with me, man. I'm just saying. I'm gonna say
you keep
something.
moving the goalposts. It's cool with me. Like, see, look at you.
Saying,
no, I said at the end of the day, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. I didn't say it was cool with me.
That's what that means. Again, I'm in. You always talk about how I be in sales, and
yeah,
that's what that means. When a nigga be like, I mean, at the end of the day, okay, that's a whole can of worms for you to be like, oh, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Okay, this guy.
I'm telling you, bro.
I hear you, but it's like, who are you to say? Who are you to say I'm giving you an out? Who are you to say I'm not giving you an out? Who are you?
Your friend.
So?
Your friend that has your best interest in mind.
But right? Again, you're my friend.
We should all have friends like
you don't have no control.
That's what this show is about. Being able to establish those type of friendships with other men. Right? Yeah. Like, the reason that I have a problem with authority and the reasons that it keep coming up in the show is like, those are people that I don't know. I don't know a police officer. I don't know a judge. Those people don't have my best interest at heart because they haven't gotten to know me as a man. Someone who knows me as a man doesn't have to give me an out because they have these expectations and these things that they know that I'm capable of. They sit back and watch. We're friends. We know what we are as far as thoughts, expectations. For lack of a better word.
You've been around homeboys, right? And maybe y'all have drank, and you ever seen one of your homeboys drunk? Did you take their keys?
Yeah, that's happened before. Absolutely.
Okay.
Niggas have done that to me before. Absolutely.
But you've took their keys.
Yeah. Yes, that's happened before.
And what 100%. Was your mindset when you took their keys?
There's no way me being someone who loves you is going to let you drive in the state that you're in.
Okay.
You can be mad at me. You can want to fight. Whatever you want to take it to after I take your keys, that's cool. But I feel that strongly in our relationship and what my convictions are as you being safe and me being somebody who feel like that they need to keep you safe, then nah, we're not doing this. You call a cab, you can sleep right here on the curb for all I care, my nigga. But you're not driving home.
Okay. So,
and I think that's respectable as friend. Like, your real friend should be able to do that with you. It's like, it's not going to be pleasant all the time, bro. It's not going to be like, you shouldn't have to give people that you love out. Like, you shouldn't have to give your wife or it's different with parents because of course they raise you, so you got to get them out. But people who niggas that genuinely fuck with you, I'm talking about. I ain't talking about run of the mill niggas that you maybe been doing 5, 10. I'm talking about niggas who genuinely have an investment in you being okay. They know your family. They know your moms. They know people that know you who would know that it would be a devastating thing that if you weren't around or if you did something to fuck all of this up. I'm talking about those people that can make those type of convictions in your life and be like, you may not be at your best right now, and I'm going to be the person that steps in to make sure everything stay okay. And you can fight me on it. You can be mad at me about it tomorrow, but I'm not going to give you a way out. And you can look at it as an authoritative or whatever you want to look at it. But I'm the person right now who you aren't in your best judgment that's going to be able to take care of you because you trust that in me as a friend. I'm going to do that. Now, again, that ain't for everybody. So that ain't the random nigga that you just met and you talking to.
Right. Of course.
That ain't that. I'm talking about real niggas that you value and genuinely want to see do better.
Okay. So then let me tie it back to a conversation on previous episodes. So with you feeling that way, are you are you at the stage in your life where you will confront your friend on something? Like when I spoke about the DUI situation where I confronted them about,
Right.
you know, and you said, man, I can't even see myself doing that. Has things changed since that episode? Where now, based on what you're saying now, if you see your friend out of pocket, you will confront them. Not necessarily if they're out of pocket
Out
with
of
you,
pocket,
but
like
this, or
just
like
in general.
just like this.
Yeah, I feel like that's my responsibility now. Absolutely.
So you feel
I wouldn't
differently than what
I
you.
wouldn't be on brand with what we've been doing for 58 episodes and saying it like, oh, I can just watch that go by. Like there's been we didn't do anything about modern events or whatever, current events and anything like at the top of the show, but there was been the story that's going around on social media. This girl was talking crazy to this group of guys and a nigga hit her with a brick.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's been this whole back and forth on social media all week because there were niggas standing around. There were people explaining, well, I mean, she shouldn't have been doing this, and maybe she wouldn't have got hit with the brick. And they were trying to make excuses for niggas. We're at the point in our lives, and I'm at the stage in my life, in my journey, where like I don't see it possible where I would be standing around and the nigga hit a bitch with a brick. Right? Like, what about like you at your age and where you are? Like, could you see you being out with your wife and your kids, and you know you got to make sure that they're safe too? And a nigga pick up a brick and finna hit a bitch because they arguing, do you feel like that you would break in there and be like, hold on, bro? Like, you gonna hit him with the brick?
The fake answer would be like, nah, man, I gotta step in. But
The fake answer.
but the reality is, I don't know if this guy's strapped. I don't know if he on pills. I don't know if I'm gonna leave here. I hate to say that, but bro, it's so real though. Because I don't know. This man threw a brick at a woman. I don't know his mental state. And I don't know if this man might pull a strap and shoot. I can't convince him not to shoot me like that video we spoke about.
You got a family.
And I got something to lose. Or they could lose me.
And now your family by themselves.
That's what I'm saying. These situations are really hard, bro.
Is it wrong? Is it wrong to consider those things though before you think about protecting her?
No, it's not wrong. But I don't. These are the things that I think about all the time, bro. I think about this stuff all. I see, like today, I seen a lady walking, and I think she had her kid, and it's so hard. A part of me is like, I want to give you a ride, and I've done this before, but I probably put myself in some situations that it could have been a close call, just trying to give somebody a ride. Now, this lady didn't look like no homeless lady or nothing like that. It just looked like she didn't have a car.
Watch out, man.
It was a black woman, so she didn't. I mean, yeah, no doubt. I mean, but. It's like it's always this hard thing for me where I'm like, I want to be able to help because I'm like, bro, you can change somebody's life or their day just by assisting, but I don't want it to be at the point where it costs my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's so hard, bro, to make that call.
Here's the thing in that I think, right, even with the lady getting hit with the brick and what the conversation is around what we're having is I have to be invested in that person. If I'm gonna be Batman and I'm coming and trying to save the day, I need to know how we got to this point. I need to know your like background, and that's not anything that's going to happen in a random situation where a nigga hit a woman with a brick. So like you're saying, I gotta consider my family, I gotta consider my well-being and all of these things in that moment when this lady is getting hit with the brick. Versus the difference of with my homeboy, like I've considered all these things. I know what's best for you, bro. That's why I'm standing with so much conviction. That's why I'm going to come to you with so much authority and be like, no, we're not doing this. I'm not giving you the opportunity to get out of this just because it's something that you want to do in the spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so that's the difference in those two situations. And what I mean when I say that, we have to be able to feel strongly enough about the people that we care for that we can be authoritative figures in their life sometimes. Not all the time you don't want to be this bossy, demanding person, but sometimes you would admit, I would admit, we're not always at our best. And it's great to have someone around you who can be like, hey, no, bro, I got you. Well, you may have been slipping right here in this moment. I can provide you with some better direction or another perspective that you should respect because you respect me and our relationship. And that's what I mean when I say that, not being soft on the well if you want to. I'm never going to say that to a homeboy that I truly care about because I've came to you and I brought this up. It ain't no if you want to. I know what you want to do. That's why I said something. That's why I came up and I brought this up to you, because I see it in your eyes and I know you. We're familiar with each other. And I'm familiar enough with you to know that I'm going to come and say something. I'm not going to give you any out and be like, well, if you want to, what's up to you, but you know you have this to lose. Now, nigga, I'm talking to you because I know you got this to lose. And this is the next move that you should make, because I see you going the wrong road. And you can call it over authoritative or whatever it may be.
So
but
you're okay with somebody doing that with you?
I want people to have those type of relationships with me. Absolutely. I want somebody to be able to feel that strongly about the relationship that we have, where they can be like, nah, bro, you're doing the wrong thing. And I ain't saying this because of ego or anything like that. I'm saying this because I genuinely know you, and I know the road that you're trying to walk down, and I know that this ain't it. I want people to have that type of relationship with me. Absolutely.
So you're okay with that authority?
Absolutely. Again, if I feel like it's genuine.
Okay, but you say, you say because people that don't know you, that's the issue.
Yeah, like it's some niggas, like that. They'll throw that shit in there, then they'll be like, "But you can do what you want to." To me, that's ego shit. Like if I'm gonna say something to someone who I feel like is my friend, I'm standing on it. I ain't giving you no out.
Well, I think that it depends on the stage of the friendship. Like if we've been rocking for a long time, absolutely. Like I'm not. Like I'm that friend. I've been that way. So I'm speaking to like.
It depends on how good of friends we are.
Exactly. And here's
this ain't for intermediate friends.
That's what I'm saying. But this is like friends that we've been cool, but we haven't entered that phase of the maturation of this friendship. We've always been cool. We noticed that we're all going through some stuff. We're getting a little older, but we haven't necessarily started being vulnerable necessarily.
Then I would agree with you. I would agree with you.
See what I'm saying? So
I would agree with you on be like, you can do what you want to, bro.
It's like at the end of the day,
this is the type of person that I am.
But this is my first entry.
Friends. You may, exactly.
Yeah.
You may not know me like this. You may not expect this from niggas who fuck with you, but this is the type of person that I am. And I'll still give you the way out because we ain't really friends like that. I ain't talking about those niggas though.
Well, no. We friends like that.
I just want to make it clear.
No, we
not though.
No. Hold on.
I got to give you an out. We not friends like that.
Hold on, bro. Because the friendship, just like relationship, goes through phases. You didn't start off rocking like I'm telling my homeboy straight up what I'm going through. It's a maturation process. So I'm saying we really are friends. I really been rocking with you, but we hadn't crossed that threshold of vulnerability with one another. I ain't told you about my real problems. I ain't tell you that I caught a disease and I had to take pills and clear up. I didn't tell you like, just whatever, what homeboys talk about. Like, bro, I got caught slipping, bro. I didn't use it. Whatever. Yeah. We haven't got to that phase, but you are my friend and I actively kick it with you, but we never crossed the threshold of vulnerability where I have stepped in and felt the need to tell you like, bro, I don't think you should do that. Now, where we got years now, it's past that. We're not at that stage. We're at the, bro, I ain't giving you no out. Absolutely, no. All right, bro. When you do that, then don't holler. All right, bro, then whatever, then I'm out. Like you rocking like that, then I'm out. I don't rock with that. Like I told you, like I had that homeboy when I was young, like how he was treating his mama. Like I was like, nah, bro. We wasn't cool, and he respected me. He hit me up years later, like, bro, I appreciate it. I said, yeah, bro, I don't like how you treat your mom and your sister, bro. They ain't cool. I do not rock with niggas like that. And I was a high schooler, and I told him straight up. So I understand. I'm just talking about the phase of friends that you never have gotten to that point of telling your friend in this space of like, crossing over to a new dynamic of the friendship. That's what I'm saying. Where you're at, absolutely. What you would do, I would do the same thing. Absolutely. I'm not giving you no out. Like I was that friend in college. Like I was, before I ever smoked a cigarette or Black and Mild, like I had my cousin. I remember we was going to a party on campus and this man pulled out a Black and Mild. He pulled out a Black and Mild, bro. And he tells me this story. I hate even when he brings a story up. But I was like, bro, what are you doing? He's like, I'm about to smoke a cigar. I was like, nah, man, that's ugly. Man, we kings. What you doing? Like I was a different dude in college, bro. I was so dead. I was like, bro, what you doing? That's ugly. Nigga, we look good. You smoking Black and Milds? What's wrong with you, bro? Like, dude, I was so.
Man, I bet you was a sick.
I was sick, bro. People was like, but people used to laugh, but they was like, that's H3. Like that's H3. Like he ain't letting stuff ride. I was very outspoken. I didn't have
what kind of cigarettes you should smoke, Mo?
I would smoke a Marlboro 72s menthol.
Oh my God. What?
They were like that.
Marlboros? Are you serious?
72s, yeah. They was the small pack. They was the smallest cigarette you can get on the market. And they were smarter than the shorts. And they pack a lot of power. They was the green joints. They was small. Yeah, man. Menthol. Absolutely. Yeah. I think about that Dave Chappelle skit. Why do black people smoke menthol? Every answer was the right answer. That was the most funniest skit. Like every answer was the right answer why black people smoke menthol. But yeah, that's what I used to smoke. But okay, well let this tying it back to embarrassment.
That was good, right?
Before we get out of here, why do you think this generation doesn't handle it well? And what advice would you give people as far as the bounce back and understanding it's like it's not the end of the world? Because I mean, we've seen things that have come out online with some younger people that like because they were so embarrassed of this being out, which the embarrassment level is totally different. I respect y'all Gen X, Gen Z, or Gen Z. But so I understand the embarrassment level is different, and sometimes it can go viral, but some of them will end their life after that. So I want to ask you before we get out of here, what would you say to like how to bounce back from being embarrassed, even if you caught online slipping and looking goofy? And what would you say to this generation where they got a whole different pressure and different things going on? What would you say to them to just push through that?
You know what? I think what we have to be able to admit when we're right here kicking facts and having good conversations is stuff that we don't know as well. This new generation, man, I couldn't imagine when I was 14, 15, 16, 17 years old having to deal with the shit that they deal with like social media.
Yeah.
Like it's kids now, bro. I have a godson. He may be 11 years old now. And this nigga wear like Gucci and Travis Scott's and Givenchy and like shit that like we used to wear Tommy Hilfiger when I was in school, polo, shit like that. You was flick, we was fresh then. Mm-hmm. My point is niggas got like kids, $150 shirts, $400 jeans on, $600 shoes, chains with their name on it. And these kids are in the 5th, 6th, 7th grade. And I couldn't imagine what that would be like if I had the access to those things at that age. So I can honestly say, I don't know. I don't know how they deal with it, bro. Like their whole life is online. They're different from us. I'm right on the cusp of remembering when there was no internet. There was no like.
No, I'm on the cusp.
Like, shut up, nigga. Like I ain't that I'm telling you, no, I remember. Yeah. I remember when niggas had like Black Planet.
Yeah.
Like my nigga Dro had like this little keyboard that you hooked up to your TV. I can't think of the name of that shit.
Oh, man.
But you hook the keyboard up to your TV and it would give you the internet.
That's
and
right.
like that shit was so
the
like
dial-up joint.
Mind blowing to us, bro. I had AOL, nigga, and would go in the chat rooms.
Oh, like, yeah.
That shit was mind blowing to me. But these motherfuckers got Instagram and they got Twitter and they got TikTok, all these different things they could do. And that shit will spiral out of control in moments, and you be the talk of the town. Like, I don't know.
Cause you imagine,
I wouldn't know what to say to a teenager, bro, who gets embarrassed online and say like, how you bounce back from that? Because I know they think that that's their whole world.
Yeah,
like that's the whole thing to them. How I look online, how I do all these things. So, I as an old head, I have no clue, bro. I would love for a young person to be able to come talk about.
I would love to have a young person on here
of that. Absolutely, bro. But for me, I have no idea.
Like Spike, you remember you said you did a prank and you mooned the coach.
Yes.
Imagine if that went viral.
Exactly.
Like, bro,
that'd be online forever, nigga.
Bro, like that would have been a gift.
Like, come on,
that would have been a gift in a text message. Like
I was
people
able, and again, just because of who I was and the people that I hung around, like I was able to forget about that in a week.
Yeah.
Like niggas like, may have laughed and joked about it. You may have felt bad. I may have felt bad. I thought about that before we did this show because we were talking about embarrassments and I knew that would probably come up. That shit lasted maybe 4 days. Maybe max 4 days, nigga.
Bro.
After that, nigga, who gave a fuck? I didn't care. Nigga.
I mean, for real though.
I don't give a fuck about this coach and
but it was a lot.
Nobody on this team.
But it was a lot at the time though.
It was a lot at the time, 100%. But that's how long it lasted. About then, maybe 4 days. Now people got footage of stuff. That shit lasts forever. That shit. That'll go with you through your whole childhood, nigga. And I could see how a child would be like, man, my life is over. And I don't know the answer to that. I ain't gonna sit here and try to act like a nigga.
And we ain't necessarily coming with the answer, just some thought patterns.
Just like, a thought probably. Yeah. If someone who does have the answer want to come on the show and talk about it,
come on.
I'd love to hear it, but I do not know how a young person is 16, 17 now gets embarrassed beat up online, something happened to them where they did something dumb at school, it's taped, it go viral, everybody retweeting it, me and you laughing at it at 30 and 40-year-olds. I don't know how somebody live that down, bro. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how that happens.
You're right. I remember when I was a kid, me and my brother got in a fight and I whooped him, and I remember all our cousins was around. They was laughing like, oh, I mean, I'm whooping my brother. Like we wrestling or whatever, I'm whooping him.
Your younger brother, your older brother?
Yeah, I'm the oldest, so it was my younger brother. He a year younger, 11 months. And so then my cousin steps up, and older than me, and it's a girl, and she whooped me, bro. She whooped me. And we kids. And bro, I was so embarrassed. I ran in the house and I hid under the bed. And at that time, bro, I feel like people will forever remember my girl cousin. Man, it was a grip ago. I might have been
young, really young, like 8, 9, or like.
Yeah, it had to be really young, bro. It's probably around there because it's a
that
blur.
With me though. When I was young, my girl cousin, because she was older than me, they would say, "Oh man, she beat you up."
Yeah,
I remember that vividly. Still at 40 years old, and now we talking about some shit that happened when you was maybe 7 or 8, maybe younger than that.
Yeah,
right. Until I got into my boy strength and was being a boy, and like,
fall back.
Better keep her away from him. But I remember that being a thing. Maybe 5, 6 years old, and the jokes from your grandma and your other, like mom, like, "Oh, she beat you up." You know
I mean, they was like, "Look, where you at?" They was looking for me. I was under the bed. I remember they was watching boxing pay-per-view. Like
that's happened to me. Yeah, that's happened to me.
Never forget that, Absolutely. Bro. Like I was just.
How many years ago was this? Been over 30 years, right?
Yeah, definitely over 30 years. That was over 25 years ago, I think, or something. 20.
That happened to me. I 100%, because I have a cousin that's older than me, maybe 3, 4 months older than me. So she was always
maybe one day I'll reach out and say if she remember this. I may reach out. It might be the most random. I ain't talked to you in a long time. I mean, probably over a decade plus. But like, I may reach out just to be like, "Hey, you remember when you beat me up after I beat up my brother Bubba?" Like,
that's still my closest member of the, other than my mom. That cousin that we're talking about, that you talked about, it maybe you fight with. That's still the closest member of the family for me. Like, we talk all the time. Like, so like. That definitely, I remember that, and she does too. Like, she remember when it changed too. Like, as far as
you do. It's like, all right, as you cut it short, like, all right, bro.
Right, like, come on, right, exactly. I definitely remember those happening too.
Yeah, I got a lot of memories. I could have flooded y'all with so many embarrassing moments. I mean, life is full of,
As an adult, though, I don't think it's a lot, though, right? Like that was one of the things that got to as we wrap the conversation up. As an adult, there's been few and far between moments where I was like, yeah, it was embarrassing at the moment. Who gives a fuck, right? Like, that nigga.
I mean, you can be embarrassing and not have a lot of weight, though. Like, you can be embarrassing and not have a lot of weight.
That's happened a lot more so.
I mean, I spoke about like
being with me for a long.
Like when I tried to, I don't even want to talk about this story no more. I think I told her there about the dollar burger story, like that with my wife, and like how I tried to do something like.
What?
I really don't want to share the story because every time I share, I just look so dumb. I look so dumb in this, bro. I think I told it on the air before. But we was just at a point where I was like, we was just broke, like a lot. Like, because we was figuring out we had too many bills and not enough money, basically. We had car payments. We just had too many bills, not enough money. And so I was trying to implement something early. Like, this is what we're going to cut off. We ain't spending no more money. So we leave service, and she's like, well, I want to go get a burger from Burger King. And I'm like, nah, we ain't spending nothing else. Whatever's at the house is what we doing. And she was like, I just want to get a dollar burger. I'm like, no, we're not getting nothing. I don't care if it's
like the Eddie Murphy Raw. Have you seen that?
The Eddie Murphy what?
We got McDonald's burgers at home. You ain't never seen the McDonald's burger with Eddie Murphy?
No, is that Saturday Night Live or something?
Bro, I have to see you clip for that.
Send it to me, please, bro. Please, and send me that All in the Family joint too.
It's with the black dude. Yeah, I definitely seen that.
Yes, please send it to me.
It's the same exact scenario. What you're saying, the kids wanted to get McDonald's burgers, and the nigga was like, "Bro, we got burgers at the crib."
I've seen that. Like, I don't know if you've seen that meme where they talk about
it. I'm gonna send it to you.
All right, you know when people talk about the chicken sandwich, they like, you want to die? We got chicken sandwiches at home, and they put like the chicken leg on some bread. like at the barbecue, bro.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, we not getting no more like we not spending no more money. It's like it's $1.25. Like I don't care. We ain't spending nothing else. So it was definitely like I was in the doghouse for a little bit, and so I had talked to her dad at the time when we was up, and he was just like, he was the first person, the grown man. Like I felt like he really understood me. He was like, look, I get it. You trying to set a principle. You trying to set a precedent on what y'all trying to do financially. You didn't want to spend no more money. I get it. I totally get it. And then he brought it all the way back and said, but it's $1, bro. Like he did that. It just resonated. He's like, bro, he was like, it's $1. And then it just hit. I was like, you're right. It is $1. He's like, you got to pick and choose your battle. I was young, married. I was like, he's like, you got to pick and choose your battles. Is this something you really want to be in an argument about? And I was like, no, not really. Do you really? Is it gonna really hurt you like that? I was like, no. And he's like, and
Man,
so
I
when
respect the shit out of you, bro, for fighting through that, because I couldn't be in a relationship and have to still figure out that type of shit and still be in love. Like,
bro, well, it's work.
So
Because you got. I think the idea that's been presented to you. Relationships are work. It's not a. It's not just.
Bro, but I don't want to work on everything else while I'm working on my relationship too.
What's everything else?
That's my biggest problem. Like what you're saying, like, bro, if I have to worry about $1 burger, I shouldn't be in a relationship.
Nah, bro, you can't. Everything ain't always. The crime don't fit the bill all the time. Like it ain't always like I can't. It's just more.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's a me thing.
But why end it because you're trying to
$1 burger or a $200 date or a $1,500 vacation? I don't want to be in a relationship.
Okay, those are totally different things, brother. Like we talking $1 burger. You in this goalpost is crazy. You come on, like. But anyway, let me just wrap the story. So so when he said it,
later on another episode.
Oh man, I can't wait. So when the light bulb went off, I said, oh, you know what? It went through the week. She went to work on that Monday. I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go and get the $1 burger. And when she pull up, I'm gonna have the burger with it. I'm gonna be romantic and be like, look, I'm sorry, I got the burger. Even if she wouldn't have ate it, I was gonna be romantic. But what ended up happening was I got to the drive-thru. I caught a flat tire. And I had to call her to come get me. Oh, bro, because their car wasn't working. I mean, she had to drive.
What were you thinking when you got the flat?
Oh man, I was the whole gesture.
Who you cussing out?
She was even more mad at me, bro. The whole gesture was over. So I tried to apologize, and then it was even worse.
That's the crazy thing about me. She couldn't have been more mad at me. I would have been so mad at everything in my existence.
I would have been mad. I was like, I tried to do the right thing, bro.
I'm trying to do the right shit, bro. I would have been so like distraught.
It was cold outside. Like, man, bro.
I don't even know if I would have been able to call I don't even know I would have been able to call. I would have been there like just.
No, I let it marinate for a little bit. I was posted for a second parked. But yeah, man.
What's any other way that I can get out?
I mean, seriously, but I didn't have
what's another way that I can get out?
I was down the street from the crib though. That was the thing. I wasn't far out, so I was just like, but man, like I've got a lot of embarrassing moments. These things have just helped me to be able to be okay with when you look goofy. Like I'm okay. This is what makes me this is why, and we'll get out of here, but like this is why a relationship that I have with other men, I make them feel comfortable in regards to like sharing things like this, because I'm quick to put myself in that space where it's like, yeah, bro, trust me, I've looked bad a lot of times, not intentionally, but it happened. Now I'm looking a little more smooth. So I've made male relationships that I've had, friendships, I've made them feel more comfortable to be vulnerable in that way, because I'm not gonna judge you because I got material, bro, that you can laugh.
I try to do that. Yeah, that's a good point. I try to do that as well. With all my new male relationships or even the old ones, I'm not perfect, bro. So like anything that presents itself to you, like you don't have to be embarrassed when shit happens.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things as men that we do. Like we tend to get embarrassed when shit happens because we think that people think that we're perfect, and it's not the fucking case at all. Like shit happens to all of us, bro. Yeah. And being able to, like what you asked me in the beginning, what's the most important thing to me is people being authentic. Like, oh, nigga, you go outside, your car won't start, you need to jump. I don't care, nigga. I'm not gonna joke on you, bro. Like it's cool. You can ask me for shit. It's all right, nigga. You need $10, fine, bro. Yeah. Just don't make your shit a habit, my nigga. Like, don't do that shit. It's cool, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we all go through shit. That's one of the hardest things that we have to admit to each other as men. Like, bro, we all go through shit, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna judge you for some bullshit that you asked me. Ask me out of a genuine heart, and I'm gonna be able to help you genuinely as well. And we can keep it moving. We gotta have a conversation about it. Ain't nothing to do other than that, other than I got you. Feel comfortable in understanding I got you, bro.
Wow.
Great way to end the episode.
Great way to end it. Well, I agree. I'm just gonna leave it at there where Spike said, like, I don't necessarily have the thought pattern right now for the younger generation, but what I would say is just understand that today is not tomorrow. So whatever goes viral, if you online or whatever the case is, just understand today is not tomorrow. So whatever you feeling today, whatever is viral on you today, whatever you look bad on today, today's not tomorrow. And tomorrow's not the next day. So just understand that don't make a today decision when things could be different tomorrow. That's all I would say as far as embarrassment goes. Spike, what you got going on before we get out of here, brother?
All the normal stuff, man. DeadEnd Sports on Tuesdays. Another week in the books on, of course, Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
Good earners on Mondays, and
On deck.
something that I'm missing. On deck on Wednesdays. Absolutely hip hop. So make sure you're tapping into everything that we do. Be on the lookout for the new stuff that's happening for the end of the fourth quarter. Got some surprises for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait till it happens, man. What about you, Mo?
Man, hey, y'all stop playing and put me on deck, man. Yeah, I'm about to start pulling up on y'all, man. I'm about to spin the block on both y'all. You
Tell me what
and
you want
Rich.
to do, man.
Hey, if y'all out, put
tell
me
me
on.
what you want to do. Make the case.
So you want
for
like
it.
a concept episode again? Y'all going back to that bag?
I don't care. Just tell me what you want to do.
Okay, I'm gonna think on it
Tell
because
me
I know
what
y'all
it is
y'all kind of do like y'all full ESPN with it. So, but if you willing to do like a concept episode, then I'll come up with something.
Make sense. Make it make sense, and I'd love to have you on.
Okay, I just want to do it before y'all be like, all right, bro. Either we moving this way or we gonna set it up. I gotta get on there, bro. I love y'all so much and y'all show, so I gotta get on there. That's important to me. But like I said, another week books every Friday. Mafia Mondays. Don't forget to get our podcast, Good Earners, reviewing the Sopranos. It's getting better and better, man. Shouts out to Rich. And also Roll the audio drama series. Season 4 is coming out soon. Late fall is the goal. Early winter, but I'm really trying to do late fall. I know people are waiting on it, and so y'all. But in the meantime, go binge those first 3 seasons, man. It's out there. It's free. Y'all go check it out, man. That's pretty much all that I got going on. It's another week in the books. We out.
Black man. Absolutely. Another week in the books. Chapter 58.
Why?